Guys, this is Sandy White from Sipmly Fitt, your number one health and wellness cheerleader, and I am super duper excited that we're back. Yay! And on today's show, we're going to be talking with Dr. Tressler, aka the 55-year-old rugby player and chiropractic practitioner, about overcoming his injury as well as how his faith put him through the ultimate challenge. But you guys know I always like to give a shout out to WYTV7 Community Broadcasters Network for allowing Sipmly Fitt to be on their platform, sharing our mission statement about encouraging individuals to live a simply fit life so that they're able to overcome suicide and depression. And we simply do this through health and nutritional education so that we can save 1 million lives. So it's no coincidence that the mission statement for WYTV7 lines up with ours, and their mission is to educate, empower, and to encourage, and they do this serving one person at a time. So guys, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Tressler to the show so that he can share his story, his faith, and the 4 core health concepts that have allowed his incredible recovery. And I pray that you guys hear something incredible today so that you can overcome your injuries and you can be inspired to get your health come back on quickly. So welcome to the show, Dr. Tressler. How are you?
I am fantastic, Sandy, and I want to thank you and the listeners for having me on. I love doing this. I pray that it's an inspiration and motivation under somebody's rear end with some fire, that we leave here today inspired to go do something great. So I'm excited.
I know. I got a quick question before we jump into everything, letting the viewers and listeners know who you are, what you do, and all of that. Do you still play rugby as of today?
I do. We just had practice last night. Our team, they don't have a 50-year-old team and up. I'm 55. So
you don't look it. I think you're lying. We're going to card you.
Thank you. I have to play with 20 and 30-year-olds, and when they first see me, the gray hair, they're like, this guy. So I don't know if it's ego or something, but I love still being able to play, and I've trained hard all my life. I just have never quit, which allows me to keep doing it. And it shows that this isn't me. I wasn't gifted at this. I just worked hard. God has made an incredible body. But if we learn how to take care of it, we can do great things. So I'm at a point in my life now, I want to see how far I can take it. This year, I got invited to play in the World Senior Games in rugby in Utah. So I'll get to play with 50-year-old and up. So I'm training harder than I've ever trained. I have a personal trainer 2 days a week. I told him, I said, I just don't want to go out there and I don't know what to expect. I mean, this is the best of the best in the U.S., 50 and up. I said, I want to be able to not compete, but I want to be MVP. I said, so do what you need to do with me. So it's fun.
That's incredible. But now if you're playing with younger players, they're pushing you to the max. So I think you know the answer that's going to happen when you get out there. You're going to crush those other guys.
Well,
go ahead.
I play smarter now.
Oh, yeah.
I still have to hit and I have to tackle when I do get hit. But I've learned how to play smarter and let these young guys who love to hit more than me at this point in my life, I let them do it. But yeah, I'm still out there just like one of the guys.
Cool. So I want to jump into it and let the viewers and listeners know. Now, you've been a health expert for well over 30 years, and I want you to give them an overview of how strong your faith is in the area where you said that because your God-given faith and the ability in the area of your body healing, you knew that, you understood that, and then share with them around the age of 49, your faith put you to the ultimate test. What was all of that about, and why do you think that your faith and your God-given ability to heal your body is so strong?
I'll take you back real quick. I'll just summarize. I was accepted Christ at age 12. So being a Christian most of my life, went into health and physical education in school, always played sports my entire life. I was always active in playing sports, and started rugby when I was 21, and that became a passion. So I was a phys ed teacher playing rugby. started getting some injuries. And that's what led me to chiropractic and drove me to chiropractic school. I went to Life University, which at the time, and still is, one of the best rugby teams in the United States. It was just incredible. So it took my game to a new level. But through those injuries and through the principles that I learned through school is the body is self-healing. God created the body to heal itself. If we cut our leg, we don't have to call the prayer chain and ask for prayer because we're going to lose our leg. We know that if we keep it clean, it self-heals. It heals itself and it mends the wound, scar develops tissue, and you're healed within a week. You don't have to worry about it. Well, that's every organ and tissue in the body. So when I really believe that principle, I put the chiropractic principles to the test and God to the test by saying, you know what, I'm going to depend on my innate ability to heal than medicine and drugs. I was a sick kid living. I had a lot of stomach issues, wet my bed till I was 9. IBS in high school, that I was losing control of my bowels, allergies and sinus. So I was always taking drugs to try to make myself better, and it never did. When I discovered chiropractic and I started getting adjusted, changing my lifestyle, how I ate, I always exercise. I just continued to exercise. My body started to heal itself. So through the years of chiropractic and rugby up to age 49, I've broken my ribs 3 times. I've had a couple concussions, and this isn't all through rugby. This is my farm, just life. Had a couple rotator cuff tears, had a couple meniscus tears in my knee. And through all of this, a lot of, sprains and strains, I healed naturally. I healed without drugs, without cortisone shots, without surgery. And I was right back at 100%. Well, at 49, I decided to get a bike and bike for some training instead of running all the time. Thought that would be easier. Well, it was a mistake. I was going down a hill about 30 miles an hour. My tire came completely off. My front tire came completely off. So I went straight down on my head and shoulder. Thank God I turned my head because I didn't hit my face. I hit the side of my helmet, completely cracked my helmet, but I broke my scapula. That's the big wing, the shoulder blade. It's very hard to break. And it's a very slow healing injury just because nobody does it. And there's not really a protocol to heal. Well, the doctors, told me that. He said it would probably take a year to heal based on his medical training. And I thought, wait a second. You don't test guys like me. You don't test guys that have been under chiropractic care that know and believe their body can heal the way that's how God created it. And I have 100% faith in that. So all those injuries over the years kept building more and more faith through experience. You build more faith. And I left that day and I said, I'm not doing it. So here's what's interesting. I could talk to you for hours on this. I'm trying to go quick. And the morning I was out on my bike ride, I read Ezekiel 37, Valley of the Dry Bones. If you haven't read it, read it tonight, Ezekiel 37. Everyone is listening. And it talks about Ezekiel seeing this valley of just dry bones. And God said, speak life into them. And I'm going to paraphrase, so read it. So if you say he didn't say this correctly, he spoke life into them, muscles and tendons formed into a human. He said, breathe life into them, and they became as strong as an army. So I read it that morning. I wrecked my bike. I go to the hospital. I come home that night. I'm trying to get into my bed. I'm in a sling. I can't move. I can't get in my bed. It's too high. I get a Bible that is what I read to all my kids when they were little. It's in my nightstand. I never read that Bible anymore. I haven't read it probably in 10 years. So what do? We flip through it and say, God, give me word. Give me a sign. And I'm flipping through 2,000 pages. And I'm like, okay. So I just throw it up on the bed. It opens up. I've managed to get my way into my bed. I lean back on my pillow with pure exhaustion. I pull the Bible open, and Sandy, it was Ezekiel 37.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, if you read the Bible, Ezekiel 37 is not a common place to have a bend in the Bible. Right. So I said, wow, okay, God, you got my attention. I just got goosebumps saying this. So I read it again, and I read it slower. And at the point where he says, I breathed life into them and they became as strong as an army. Now, army men aren't weak people, are they?
No.
They're strong. They're powerful. They train. They're the elite. And I thought, wait a second. God's given me word that I'm going to be I'm going to be stronger than I was before. I said, boom, closed my Bible. The next day I got up, I said, hun, told my wife, I'm playing rugby again. And she looks at me, she's like, are you insane? Just like, stop it. I said, no, you don't understand. God told me I'm going to be stronger than an army. If I'm stronger, I'll be fine.
Right.
So my past injuries and all my, trials and errors led me to, okay, I can heal. But when you're in this situation, you just can't sit on the couch and say, oh, Lord, heal me.
Right.
You have to say, Lord, heal me. Get up. I took my arm out of my sling, started swinging it in circles. The pain was unbearable, but I knew that I had to do it. I had to get movement in. I ate very clean foods, an anti-inflammatory diet, pure clean foods, eliminated the sugars and the process. I just don't eat that stuff anyhow. I took supplements to help my body heal. And I worked out every day. I never missed a day. It took about 6 weeks for my body to be out of pain. And when I mean pain, I was in this sling and the pain would just flood my body, and I would cry like a baby for about 10 to 15 minutes until I took ibuprofen. I didn't take any opioids, any prescriptions, took some ibuprofen to ease the pain. But my kids saw me go through this. And after 6 weeks, I finally could live without taking any ibuprofen. In 2 months, just a few weeks later, I ran a 5K race with my son, and we did it in 21 minutes. So that's a pretty quick pace.
Wow.
In 5 months, I bench pressed 225 pounds. So I was back to my full strength. And in 8 months after my injury, I was back on the rugby field. And I looked at that and I thought, man, I did my part, but I give God all the glory because he designed this body to heal. And he gave me, because I don't know where this comes from. He gave me this sense of drive to say, I am not quitting. I want to prove to my children and my family that the body can heal no matter what happens to it. And I know they know that now. Their belief system, based on what they see me go through, their belief is higher without having to go through that. My patients saw me go through that. So now my voice is stronger. My belief is stronger to help them. So it took me a while to see that, God's lesson in all this. I was kind of upset and a little bit mad in the beginning, like, why me? But then I thought, well, why not me? I mean, we live on this planet. So that takes us up to that point.
Man, that's incredible. So Ezekiel 37, you read the valley of the dry bones. You moved the injured area in spite of how you were feeling, believing God for your healing. You got movement in that area, and you ate alkaline food, and God told you, and he shows you in his word that that your body is self-healing. I got that correct, right?
Yes.
So for all of y'all heard the traumatic injury that he had, and some of y'all just got a little back pain. Some of y'all just got knees, issues with your knees, or you had some heel spurs or something like that. And you sitting on and that was the other thing he said, guys, get your butt up. He didn't say get your butt up. I'm telling you, get your butt up and move. You gotta move. So let me ask you this: how do you combine the healing process with chiropractic? Because a lot of people don't have self-healing. They don't connect when you go to the chiropractor. Right. Those two together. So how is the healing process in that? What's that about? So people can understand.
That's a great question. And once I understood this, my mind was blown. I just like, wow. So when I got to school, and it's kind of getting to school led me to this, is if the body's self-healing, how does it do it? Like if my kids fall and they skin their knee, all I have to do is keep it clean. It heals itself. How does it do it? No matter if we're overweight, if we're eating Snicker bars, or if we're eating organic food, it's still a self-healing. Now there'll be limits, and we'll weaken it by poor life choices, but it's still self-healing. Well, that is from the brain and the spinal cord and the nerve system. So your brain, like if we skin our knee, the body tells the brain, hey, I've skinned my knee. Send the right blood down there, the white blood cells to heal. Send the right nutrients to start scarring it and clotting so it doesn't keep bleeding. So all this power for healing is in the brain. Well, the power travels through the spinal cord, out the nerves to the tissue, whether it's in a muscle or a bone, like my shoulder, my scapula, my knees when they were injured, or a big toe that you stub. The nerve system is the connection to the brain to heal. So if the spine shifts out of alignment, that's called a subluxation. If the spine shifts out of alignment, or we start to develop poor posture, this slumping posture, we start to compress those nerves, squeeze those nerves. We weaken the output. Instead of 100% nerve output, it may be 90% or 80%.
Right.
And now our body is struggling trying to heal. And the wounds just don't heal properly, and the pains just don't go away. And we say, well, Sandy, I tried a clean diet. It just didn't work. And usually people will say, I ate a couple salads this week, doc. I said, well, do it for a month. It's like, well, what do you mean? And I laugh when you say, said you have back pain or a spur, you gave all these analogies. My patients will look at me and they'll say, and they don't know, a lot of them don't know my story yet when they first meet me. They'll say, oh, you don't understand, doc. I'm 50 years old and I have a shoulder sprain. And I said, look, I'm 55 and I broke my scapula. I said, and I give them a sheet of all my injuries. I said, don't tell me your body can't heal. So I'm basically shut up, right. Stop crying and whining. You're here for help. I've had worse than you. So don't try to give me your game. But that's when I understood the nerve system is self-healing. Then I have to take care of my spine. And taking care of my spine, my alignment, my posture enables my nerve system that God put there to function at its highest level for healing. So that's the basic behind that. And that is attached, your nerves are attached to your heart cells, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys. It's attached to everything. So no matter what ailment you have, if your spine is out of alignment, it would only improve your health by getting adjusted and getting back into alignment. And that's what chiropractic does.
That's awesome. Hey guys, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to be back with Dr. Tressler, and he's going to go over his 4 concepts of natural health. All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Welcome to Sipmly Fitt Radio. I'm your host, Sandy White, your personal health and wellness cheerleader. Remember, being fit, it's more than just exercise.
Hey guys, we're back from our commercial break, and I have been talking with Dr. Tressler about you guys getting your hiney parts off the sofa, off your bed, whatever you've been doing, get moving. Don't use your ailment or your injury as an excuse not to be healthy. So we're back with Dr. Tressler, and he's going to go over his 4 concepts of natural health. And before the commercial break, he told you guys to get your spine adjusted. So if you missed all of those points, we'll have enough time to go, but you need to go back and listen to that. So real quick, Dr. Tressler, before you get into your 4 concepts of natural health, is there a way that outside of the obvious, that when a person goes to a chiropractor or they're looking for a chiropractor, that they know that they're getting a good one before they just go to anyone saying, can you adjust my spine?
Yes. And I'm a little biased in what I believe, but I think I've done a lot of advanced training for the last 28 years. And when I look at a patient, I look at their posture, I do a case history, see what they're really there for. And then my evaluation with posture, their spine, I'm feeling their spine, palpating, but I take x-rays. So the x-rays show me what type of alignment, if there's arthritis or degeneration, if a disc is being compressed. It gives me more detail without x-ray. And this is where I differ from a lot of doctors. A lot of docs don't take x-rays. Without an x-ray, you can't get a blueprint on how healthy the spine is. So that is first and foremost. And I'll say this, Sandy, I'll leave my email if anyone's trying to find a chiropractor. If they email me their city and town and what they're looking for, I'll try to do my best to find somebody that is of high quality and would meet their needs. So I have a lot of contacts out there.
Cool. So let's go into your 4 concepts of natural health and innate healing. What's that about? 4
basic principles. One is belief. And we talked a little bit about that in the beginning. Is I've built my belief, but we have to have, if you don't have belief, or at least an inkling of belief that your body is self-healing, then you won't investigate in doing actions. Why exercise if you think it really means nothing? Why put in an hour's worth of vigorous training, painful training for basically nothing? So belief comes first. And once you have a belief that God created the body that can heal, it can self-heal, it can last 80 to 120 years without diapers, without drugs and surgery. If we believe that, then we have to take action. And this is the next three is chiropractic care. First and foremost, in my opinion, the most powerful thing we can do to our innate ability to heal, or our God-given ability to heal, because the nerve system is designed and connected to everything. It's designed to heal the body. So find a chiropractor, work on your posture, work on, sitting correctly when you're at the computer, and not this text next where you're hunched over like a 90-year-old in a nursing home in a wheelchair. That hunching, it crushes your spine. And they've proven that forward head posture, that hunched over posture, we're increasing rates of dementia because the right side of the brain is being weakened. So creativity, concentration, our spine will begin to degenerate and rot, which the nerve system will rot, which means your health will rot. So the belief is one, chiropractic care, and it's really not chiropractic care, it's really the nerve system and posture and alignment, allowing our nerve system to be optimal. The next two are nutrition, eating God foods, not man foods. So I'll tell you, there are 1,000,001 diets out there, and I study a lot. I keep it very simple in my life. I eat foods as much as I can that God created. God created an apple. He didn't create an apple fritter from McDonald's. That's what we've taken. We alter it. Who knows what that thing is? But God food, and that includes, I eat a lot of meat. I have my own farm. I raise grass-fed Angus and sheep, and I have, organic lamb and chicken and eggs. So I love meat. And, that's a big controversy. It's just a question, debate is meat good, is meat bad? Well, I've done a lot of research on this, and meat, God created it for us to eat. One, I believe it can't be bad if it's in original form. When we alter it with steroids and hormones, which we do a lot of meats, and a lot of the plants that are sprayed and altered, anything that's been altered from its original form is going to be dangerous. It's not, eat God food. So that's a general, that's a big one too. That's general. It's like, oh my, you mean no sugar and no this and no, it's like, wow. So, go with a 90-10 rule or an 80-20. It's like, start somewhere. If you're eating bad, start somewhere and start eating better and start adding it in and develop into the lifestyle. If you don't change your lifestyle, your eating, you're self-destructive. You're just destroying yourself. And the last one is exercise. And they all are of equal importance. We have to have them all to have our optimal health. Movement is key. If we don't move, our body will not get rid of toxins. Our joints won't get lubricated. Our spine, this is a powerful thing, is back in 1971, Dr. Sperry, brain researcher, and he won a Nobel Prize for his brain research, found that 90% of the nourishment to the brain comes from the cerebral spinal fluid, the fluid in our spinal cord caused by movement. Wow. So 90% of our brain nourishment is movement. And that comes from the spine has to be moving. That's chiropractic and posture. And two, you have to get off your butt. I'll say it too, and move. So, we see these dementias and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's develop rapidly, even in younger and younger. One key thing that we can do is eat clean, get adjusted, and keep moving, and we'll nourish our brain. So when, we look at those four, I don't get too involved in how specific and how crazy. I keep it foundational, but I do it every day. I exercise at least 5 to 6 days a week, and I train really hard. I keep my alignment. I get checked every week. I'm always analyzing myself. I'll analyze myself with x-rays every couple of years. I eat very clean, organic food. We raise our own food. And I go back to, I trust God that he created this body. If I can take care of this temple, then I'll have my optimal life.
That's awesome. So I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you after this for the email, because I'm in Maryland, because I have not been to a chiropractor in the sense of the way you've been explaining it to us. So the last couple times that I went, they did not take an x-ray. It was just, oh, you were in an accident, let's crack, and send you off. So I appreciate you letting us know, get one that'll at least do an x-ray on you. But guys, so the 4 points, briefly, it's your belief, it's incorporating chiropractic services into your routine, your posture. Don't be sitting there all slunched over, because now this one I didn't know. 90% of your brain's nutrition comes from like proper posture, and of course I knew about movement, but I didn't know that you can get dementia just from and people actually do that with the younger people, because it's the cell phones and stuff. And then the nutrition, eating clean, and exercise. So those are really good points that Dr. Tressler pointed out to you guys. So you already went through how your injury affected you, but if you want to touch on a little bit more on how, if you really don't believe that you can be healed, how it can affect your mental health, your faith, and the belief system overall, just like maybe 30 seconds of it, and then tell everybody how they can reach out to you.
I'll tell you, if we don't believe, or we don't have faith that our body can believe, I would think that's like acid on your brain. It's just eating you away, because if you don't have that faith, what do you have? You wake up with no hope, and you won't listen to anyone. I have patients when they come in and I try to give them some hope, and they'll say, "Oh, it's too bad for me." And I hear that, and I immediately think I can't help them, because they've already are decided in their mind nobody can help them, and that's the way they want to live, in misery. I release them. I'm like, go, get out. So if you're trapped there, I would say go read the Bible and pray. Let God crack your mind open to say there's hope, because He is our hope, and His power is bigger than anything we could ever do as people or doctors or anything. So you've got to hold on to that, because our mental health, anxiety, depression has just run rampant in our society, and it's unfortunate. Where they can find me is my email is just Dr. Tressler, TRESSLER @gmail.com. And Sandy, I'll give you this so you can put it in your show notes if you want. My website is, and if you go to my website, you can find some really neat resources there. You can contact me there if you can't find my email. It's innatelife.com. IN8LIFE.com. Innate life. And we use that as innate because our body, it has an innate power to heal. That's God's power. So innatelife.com.
Awesome, guys. This has been an incredible interview, and we can talk to Dr. Tressler for like another hour or so, but we can't keep up. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. Make sure you go back and check it out. Reach out to Dr. Tressler, because I can guarantee most of you guys are not doing half the stuff that he said. So remember, guys, I'm Sandy White, the host of Sipmly Fitt, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader, and we have been talking to Dr. Tressler for this last half hour. We broadcast every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we broadcast out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. So remember, check your time zone so you don't miss any of the goodies that we're going to be broadcasting this season. And Dr. Tressler, we thank you for coming on to the show.
Well, I thank you. I appreciate it. I had a blast.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.